In his press conference, Antonio Conte called for unity and for support from the fans to drive the team forward, to drive the team on, to get over this next hurdle, to push ourselves on to progress in the Champions League. And the fans did their bit. They turned up in their thousands and they sang in unison. The cries of "Come on, you Spurs" were ringing out loud on the TV. I listened intently as the fans started singing "Oh, when the Spurs," and it was so loud it almost gave you goosebumps. But did the team respond? Did the team give the fans what they needed for this to really continue? And the short answer to that, disappointingly, is no. Nothing. The fans were up for it. They did their bit. They played their part. But the first half of that match was one of the most disappointing. I'm not going to say it was disgusting. I'm not going to say it was terrible or boring or any of that. But what I am going to say is that it was one of the most disappointing efforts you could imagine from an atmosphere that was being projected onto them. The team were devoid of ideas. There was no creativity at all. They sat back and waited for an AC Milan team to come onto them, to really attack them, which they didn't do. Why would they? They don't need to. They're winning. This is a two-legged game where they had a 1-0 advantage. Why would they need to challenge and chase and push and probe and leave gaps? Why would they? So it was almost like an old-fashioned foxtrot or quick step or whatever those kind of dances are. Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow. Left a bit, right a bit, step back, step forward. Achieving nothing, going nowhere. Like the woman in the nightclub dancing around her handbag in one space. Not doing anything, moving around a bit, but not actually going anywhere. And so you sit there in frustration, knowing that the time is ticking away, and you are going out of the one competition that A is left for this season, and B is the one that you put all your eggs into one basket for because it gives you the most money. It's the one that we are now trying to achieve getting into next season. To get into it for what? So that we can just slide out of it with a whimper, without any intent, without really testing anybody. What's the point of it? So this season ends as so many other seasons. No FA Cup, no League Cup, no Champions League. And all there is to play for is that elusive top 4 trophy. Me personally, I say, sod the top 4. Sod the Champions League. What's the point of it? If you're not going in it to try and win it, what's the point of it? Oh, it attracts all the top players. Have we attracted top players? Are we going out there getting the top players that want to play in the Champions League? No, we're going out there and getting players who are stepping up from Europa League or relegation to try and get into the Champions League. The top teams are out there buying players who want to win the Champions League, not play in the Champions League. So what's it all about? Money. It's not about you and me as fans. It's about money. It's about lining the pockets of the investors, of the owners, of the players, of Sky TV, of FIFA, UEFA. That's what it's about. You and I are just a byproduct of that. You and I are just the ones who fund it. We fund the extortionate amounts of money that are required through our hard work of getting up every day, putting your shoes on and getting out there and doing your job so that you can afford to go and, fulfill this addiction that we've got, because they know we're addicted. We can't just go, sod it, we're not going to support you no more. We're going to go and support somebody else. We're not Chelsea fans or Man City fans. We are Tottenham fans. We've put up with this ever since I can remember. And I've seen some glory. So it's absolutely unbelievable that there are kids, my grandkids, supporting a team that has perpetually let us down, promised everything and delivered nothing. At the end of it, you listen to Antonio Conte and he says, my contract's till the end of the season. We'll talk to the club then, see what they want. I might be gone before that. I might be sacked. What kind of message is that? What kind of message is that? Well, at the end of the season, we'll see what the club wants. We see what we want to do. If we don't achieve what we want to achieve, I'm off mush with 15 million in my back pocket. Or, if the club want to get rid of me, fine. Whatever. I'll move on to someone else. It doesn't send the message of, I'm angry, I'm disappointed, I'm gutted. We had an opportunity against a mediocre, normal team in AC Milan. This ain't a team that you are expecting to win the Champions League. This is a team like us, expecting to compete in it. They've got a rich history, I get that, and I'm not taking anything away from them. But this team is there for the taking. But we didn't want to take it. We didn't want to do it. Romero throws himself into a player who's going nowhere, where the ball's running out, and gets himself sent off. There's like 7 minutes left. But we still feel we need to bring on the defender to replace him and take off. Okay, Kulusevski's not having a great game, but he was one of the players who could do something, who could bring something. And if you're going to take him off, what's this Dan Juma geezer about? Where's he? Richarlison getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes here. I understand his frustration. I can understand it. It's shit. I've been playing okay, but I'm not in the team again. I don't get it. Of course you don't get it. But you've not set the world on fire. But let's be honest. A Golden Boot winning Heung-min Son has been diabolical this season. He was playing awful last night. He couldn't hold the ball up. Every time he got the ball, he was under pressure and gave it away. He was so deep a lot of the time. Harry Kane, nothing given to him. The only bright spark that Son put in that game was the free kick towards the end that Harry headed and got saved. Great save, by the way. That's the only bright spark and pretty much the only opportunity that presented itself to, our leading goal scorer. One of the best in the world at scoring goals. And he's not getting any opportunities. 2 opportunities on goal for a whole game in the Champions League that you need to win. What is that about? And so now we're back to the same old question. Conte in or Conte out? And I've got to tell you, the sway of Conte out is growing and growing and growing. And I've got to be honest with you, I see it. The football's terrible. But you can take it if you're going to win a game. But if you're not winning a game, you've got to be able to change it. And if you can't see that you need to change it, that's a problem. You've got to do something different. There is absolutely no creativity in that team. Perisic has been one of the most disappointing signings after all the hype in the summer, where I was thinking, getting Perisic in who can cross the ball, scores goals, has won stuff. Richarlison, Brazil's number 9, like the guy who scores the goals, is coming in. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, you know, we're getting all this talent that's really good, and it's just not working. Now, these players don't become crap overnight. It's got to be to do with the system. It's got to be with how they're playing. It's got to be to do with the tactics. And Conte needs to look at it. He's got to look at it. If you can't look at it, there is no point. Football is not a difficult game. It's about putting the ball in the back of the net and changing your tactics to suit who you're playing when you're getting found out. If you're using wing backs to cross the ball and they ain't crossing the ball, kind of tells you there's a problem there. So Conte is not blameless. And we can have the debate as much as we like about the owners, and we've all got our opinion on that. But they ain't going anywhere. Why would they? They're earning so much money out of it. They've got this place that is just a cash cow for everything. And football is just a sideline. It's not the same feeling as we've got. They don't feel the same way we do. They don't care about that. They can say all the right things because they want you to keep putting your hand in your pocket. They can say all of that, but it is meaningless. Unless you've got a sugar daddy who's prepared to chuck money at it left, right and centre, then we ain't progressing anywhere. And if you've got a manager who needs to have someone chucking money out and to buy them the specific players that they need to play in the specific formation that they want, then that's going to be a problem. So here we go. Pochettino rises again. I love Poch. He brought pride back to Tottenham. He made us believe. He gave us that feeling. He took us places we didn't think we were going to go. We played some great football. We didn't win every week, but we played some great football. And we were the comeback kings. We were everybody's second team. And that's all great. That's all great. If that's what we want. Do we want to just play great football, good football, win a few, lose a few, be excited, be enchanted and feel like you're progressing, but not actually progress? He's had his issues. No signings for, 2 years? Playing with a squad that needed an urgent refresh. But he had his faults. He made some strange substitutions. He talked in riddles. He didn't want to win the FA Cup or anything like that. That wasn't glory to him. Champions League is where the glory's at. His words, not mine. So we've got to be careful what we wish for. You've got to be careful what we wish for. Do I think it would bring a great bounce back to the squad, to the team, to the stadium, to the fans? Yes. Do I think it's a publicity stunt by Levy to buy himself more time and take the pressure off of him? Absolutely. Absolutely. The talk of Pochettino coming back is basically to appease fans and keep us putting our hand in our pocket. Whoever comes in, I'll support. If Conte stays, I'll support him. I'll keep singing his name. I'll keep wanting him to win. I'll keep supporting Tottenham. I'll keep turning up for games. And some of you will say, you're the problem. I may be the problem. I may be part of the problem. But I have to feed my addiction. And just because I'm mad at you doesn't mean I don't love you. You've seen it, right? So I'm frustrated. I'm upset. I'm disappointed. I'm gutted. We sit here, out of all the competitions, with the only thing to play for is to try to get back into a competition that we know we haven't got a good enough squad to win next season. And at the same time, we see our biggest rivals playing great football, coming back from the dead, and looking like they're going to win the ultimate prize, the Premier League. It's not a great day to be a Tottenham fan. It's not been a great season to be a Tottenham fan. But I wouldn't change it, because it's not just about the football. It's about the 90 minutes. It's about being with your mates. It's about all those other things. And that's what keeps us in the game. But it's a disappointing time. All we can do is look up and think about the future and keep supporting our team. As ever, I'm going to start to ask, if you like this video, thumbs up it. If you like some of the stuff I do, please subscribe, because I think it's something like 60% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribers, and that helps, apparently. And if you want to share it, please do. I'll leave that with you. Up the Spurs.